Hello again, everyone. This is Ali Hassan, and this is part 7 of our series of presentations on project management for all. And this time we're going to talk about the project executing phase. So just to look at this diagram which shows the project phases. So the project phases start with the initiation phase, planning and design phase, executing phase, monitoring and controlling, and closing. We have already covered the initiation, planning, and design phases, and today we'll talk about the executing phase. But we will recap on what we talked about in the part 5 and part 6. So the initiation phase activities, normally we do the business case, then we do the feasibility study, and then we create the project charter, and we assemble the project team, we identify stakeholders, we set up the project office, and then at the end we review the phase in order to make sure that we have not missed anything, or we may need to revise and update some of these activities if new information have been gathered, and we need to revise these activities. The second phase is the planning and design phase. So the activities of this phase are the scope planning, stakeholders management planning, schedule planning, resource planning, budget and cost planning, procurement planning, risk planning, quality planning, and communication planning. And at the end also we review the phase and see if we have covered everything. So at the end of the planning and design phase, we produce the project management plan, which is the baseline for the project, against which we monitor the progress and on how much we spent. And also we produce and develop all the documentations for the third phase, which is the executing phase. So as we said, the third phase is the project executing phase. The definition of this phase, this is taken from PMBOK. The executing process group consists of those processes performed to complete the work defined in the project management plan, which we developed in the planning and design phase, to satisfy the project requirements. So this process involves coordinating the resources, manpower, equipment, services, material, etc. Managing stakeholders' engagement, managing the engagement of everyone involved in the project and affected by the project. And lastly, which is the most important, integrating and performing the activities of the project in accordance with the project management plan. General remarks on this phase. The key benefit of this group is that the work needed to meet the project requirements and objectives is performed according to the plan, to the project management plan. So we have a plan, we execute the activities according to the plan. A large portion of the project budget, resources, and time is expended in performing this phase. So this is the biggest consumer of the budget and resources because it's the biggest phase of the project. The process in the executing process group may generate change requests. This is very important. And if these requests are approved, the change request may trigger one or more planning process that result in a modified project management plan and or project documents or possibly new baselines. So the change request may come from anyone involved in the project. Could be from the contractor side or from the client side. But they have to be approved by the client, and also they have to be coordinated with the contractor in order to you may have to change the contract and may have also to change the baseline, which is the project management plan. So this is this diagram will show this phase and the input to this phase or to this process group. So it is the direct and manage the project work, and the input to this process group are the project quality management plan, the project resource management plan, the project communication management plan, the project stakeholders management plan, and the project procurement management plan. And now we talk about each of these and how do they affect the direct and managed project plan. But start with we talk about the direct and managed project work. Direct and managed project work is the process of leading and performing the work, which is defined in the project management plan, and implementing the approved changes to achieve the project objectives. The project quality management plan, how do we manage quality? Manage quality is the process of translating the quality management plan into executable quality activities, because we have a plan on paper. So how we translate it to something executable that which incorporate the organization's quality policies into the project. And the key benefit of this process is that it increases the probability of meeting the quality objectives and the quality standards, as well as identifying any ineffective processes and causes of poor quality. Because if we leave these cases, for quality and ineffective processes, they will damage the project. They will affect, of course, the output of the project. The project resource management plan. This starts with acquiring the resources. How we apply this plan. So we acquire the resources. To acquire the resources, it means obtaining team members, facilities, equipment, material, supplies, and other resources necessary to complete the project work. Then we develop the team. This is very important. Develop the team. You cannot bring just the team and leave it as it is. You have to take care of the team by improving the competencies of the team, team member interaction between them, and the overall team environment. Of course, in order to enhance the project performance. Then we manage the team. How do we manage the team? Manage the team is the process of tracking team member performance, providing feedback, resolving issues, and managing team changes. That's all in order to optimize the project performance. So we acquire the resources, we develop the team, and then we manage the team. The project communication, how do we manage the communication? So the project communication management is the process of ensuring timely and appropriate collection, creation, distribution, storage, retrieval, and management, monitoring, and the ultimate of disposition of project information. Of course, this is between the team themselves and between the team and the stakeholders. The project risk management, this process is to the process of implementing agreed upon risk responses plans. So as you remember, we talked in part 6, we identify all the negative and positive risks. And we put a plan how to respond to these risks. And this is, of course, a continuous process. It goes on even during the execution phase. Whenever we find a risk, we have to identify it and then see how we respond to it. This is very important because if we miss any opportunity, negative or positive, this is a loss to the project. The project procurement, and we talked about this also in part 4, to conduct the procurement is the process of obtaining the seller responses, selecting a seller, and awarding a contract. So the key benefit of this process is that it selects a qualified seller and implements the legal agreement for delivery of material or services. The project stakeholders management, this process is to communicating and working with the stakeholders to meet their needs and expectations, and address issues and also foster appropriate stakeholders involvement. So the stakeholders, we see what they need, what their expectations, we address any issues they have, and foster their involvement. The involvement of the stakeholders is very important to the success of the project. As we talked in part 6, the planning and design phase, we produce the project management plan and also the project documents. And these documents have to be kept and updated during the project life cycle. So what are these documents? These are examples of these documents. You may find more in some projects, you may find less. You may need some of these documents, you may not. It depends on the type of project. So we have drawings and diagrams, which are layouts, sections, process flow diagrams, isometrics, cable schedules, process and instrumentation diagrams, which we call them PNIDs, cable routings, wiring schematics, GAs, general arrangements, block diagrams, junction box drawings, instruments location plans, loop diagrams, installation details, SLDs, single line diagrams, protection diagrams, interface tie-in points drawings, loop diagrams, plans, and elevations. And then we may have lists like milestone list, specifications, data sheets, control narratives, equipment list, spare part list, load list, bill of quantities, and then we may have reports, all type of reports, financial reports, uh, test reports like welding and quality performance test reports, project progress reports, procedures, calculations, etc. Then we have change log, lesson learned register, milestone list, project communications, project schedule, risk register, risk report, issue log, quality control measurements, resource breakdown structure, requirements traceability matrix, activity list, assumptions log, requirements documentation, stakeholder register, project team assignments, source selection criteria, and quality matrix. And most of these documents are kept and updated by the project manager and some of the project team, like the discipline leads and others. So these are examples of project documentations which are produced in the planning and design phase and used in this phase, which is the executing phase, to execute the project, and they are kept and updated during the project life cycle, even to the end of the project. And at the end of the project, in the closing, and there's something we're going to talk about later on in a different presentation, most of these documents to be handed over to the client and kept in the company or organization database for future reference. So this is the end of this session, and I hope it is helpful, and we hope to see you in the future presentations. Thank you, and see you again.